Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today. We have a really grim forecast for the world's economy right now. And I'm going to cover so much today for you guys that, there's just a ton to cover right now. And before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget we have an email list that you can sign up for. And an email is going out later today. So be on the list, guys. And let's get into it. So much is happening around the globe. And I'm going to randomly pull all these stories up that we're going to cover. But the first thing is the darling of the stock market over the last few years that we've all basically used has been Zillow. Now I want you to think about what I'm going to tell you. And that Zillow right now is a stock that people are talking about shorting the stock, like AMC, like GameStop, like it's some joke stock, because they anticipate that we have not seen anything close to the bottom of Zillow. Now, I'm in Zillow all the time. I'll go to a neighborhood. People tell me, oh, check out, Davenport, Iowa, and check out this and check out that. And I'm constantly looking at neighborhoods, checking out the average home price. And, people tell me about this $50 million house, and I'm on it. So with that, sorry, guys. So with that, you're seeing Zillow's used all the time. Now, check this out, guys. We're in the process of having a massive swell right now, and with the massive swell you've got all these waves that break really far out, and look at this surfing out there. Here's something crazy. Some of these beaches out here, you're not allowed to swim, but you can surf only, which I've always thought was crazy, that they allow you to surf but not swim. So there's that. Now, Zillow, the stock, was at a high of like $65. And now it's basically lost 80% of its value right now. And people are talking about how Zillow could drop even more, and people are betting against that. But check out the Wall Street Journal article, because it's crazy. And, it's the beginning of the end for real estate. And I had a guy write me today and told me, hey, Dan, I bought my house 2 years ago and got a loan in the 2.7 range, and saw the thing shoot up $250,000, and my neighbors are freaking out right now because they've got interest rates that are 2 and 3 points higher than me, but they can't sell the houses that they want to get out of. So there's that. We're going to see this more and more, guys. Now let's go across the pond and let's talk about Poland, which is a place we've never talked about. But I want you guys to think about this. The lines of people that are people are waiting for days to buy coal because they anticipate that it's going to be such a cold winter this year that they're concerned about heating and, keeping their families warm right now. So they're waiting in line for days to buy coal in Poland. Guys, that is nuts, guys. That is absolutely insane that we are seeing this right now, okay? So, got the engagement photos out here. Everybody, just nuts, guys. Absolutely insane. So, how about this? What is the number one thing searched for in Germany right now? What is it? Firewood, guys. People are so concerned about energy costs that firewood is the number one search. Here's the second sick thing. People's pensions globally, the UK and different countries, they're so concerned that these people are going to lose their pension and lose everything, or use their entire government pension to pay their heating bill. How nuts is that, guys, right now? That is absolutely insane that we're seeing this right now. And again, the UK government just increased the maximum overage that you can pay for natural gas by 80%. So people are seeing, the potential for 6,000 pound energy bills over the course of a year. Now, people can't afford this, guys. They just cannot. So, I'm going to traverse the rocks. Isn't this beautiful? This is really stunning stuff. The cool thing about the beaches and stuff out here right now is after next week, all bets are off, man. This place will be a ghost town. And there's less people out here today than there are in regular days. But, you know, we've got all this swell coming in, and all these surfers are telling me where all these places are going to have massive waves over the course of the next week. And there's like, I think it's the 7th or the 8th of September. It's supposed to have just massive waves out here. But I'll look into that a little bit more. And the lifeguards are always a really good source for stuff because, you know, I was filming in Balboa Island 2 weeks ago, and I never caught it. In the background, people started pointing out there was a huge manta ray in the water behind me. Well, the surfer said, hey, I saw that, but I want to tell you that there was a mating pool of manta rays right by this jetty, and there were hundreds of them together, which would have been the coolest thing ever. So, you know, I'd love to film something like that for you guys. But, again, energy costs, energy crisis, that's coming. People, why are people waiting in line in Poland? Do they not have faith in the government that they're going to have natural gas? It's irrelevant, guys. They can't afford natural gas. So they would rather fire up coal, and use coal for this. So read these articles, because, again, it's grim, guys, what's happening and where we're headed with this right now. So let me traverse the rocks without killing myself. We're seeing some crazy stuff right now, and it's only going to get worse. Real estate right now is in such a bubble that has, you know, you've got areas right now that are doing okay still, that you're seeing prices still creep up a little bit, but guys, it's done, guys. It's you need to batten down the hatches and get ready for this, because when real estate goes, it's going to affect so many different industries, from contractors to the suppliers to the appliance companies to the, you know, people that supply wire, copper, tubing. I mean, everything, guys. It's going to affect absolutely dozens and dozens and dozens of industries right now. So nobody wants to admit that. But you have to look at the mortgage industry right now, because what people are talking about right now is that we're going to see a massive, you know, spike from the Fed, where we could see 3/4 of a point or even a point. And I love the people that are talking 1.25. That would be awesome if we saw that right now. So, you know, all these other financiers from different central banks from around the world, and I can bore you guys a little later. I'll look at the list again. But they got together to say, hey, we want everybody to understand one thing. There is no more stimulus. There is no more free lunch. There is nothing but interest rate increases to slow down inflation. All the free money screwed everything up. It made it so that things were more expensive. And it's only going to get worse. Now, I'm not climbing over the rocks, but this is the private little cove over there. It's really cool. Private little beach you can climb over. You climb over this. I'm not dressed for it, so I'm not doing it. But just really, really stunning stuff, guys. It really is. So share your thoughts on this. Let me know what you're thinking. Now, I can't emphasize this enough, but in the UK, they raised the energy price cap for natural gas. They raised it up 80%. 80%. So what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that basically they're saying this is going to be a death sentence for people, because they will not be able to afford energy. That's insane, guys. It really is. And again, 75% of the government pensions will be used to pay energy bills. How do you eat? Okay, so you take a 75% hit, and there's nothing left over. I mean, come on, guys. This is getting crazy. And we're seeing more problems with big banks. And my banking video, you know, had a lot of people talking, a lot of people writing me about that and about letters that they've gotten. And we'll do another follow-up video to that. But Goldman Sachs is having So many people walk off the job because they're sick of it. They're sick of the poor treatment. Now, think about this. Here you are, you go to college, you want to work at this investment bank, you fight, you claw your way to get this job, and then when you get it, you find out, hey, this place sucks. These people treat us horribly. And that's what they're finding at Goldman Sachs. And they had mass walkout in the last week because people are fed up with this. They don't want to be mistreated like this. So, take a look at the story from the New York Post because it's fascinating that this is happening. So, we're seeing more and more people just have problems with their jobs and with employers and with communication. And again, Jamie Dimon, is doing this thing right now where he's saying, listen, I don't want to manage people from afar. And, Elon Musk is saying the same thing. If you don't want to work here, go work someplace else, but you won't have a job here if you're not going to come to our office and participate. Now, I read a bunch of stuff from Elon Musk about meetings, which is pretty fascinating. Why are there meetings? Why do we have meetings that we can't handle with one-on-one conversations? And he gave all these different rules about how to make meetings more productive. I'm going to get taken out if I don't move. So I'm moving, guys, right now. You can hear that wave coming in. Morgan Stanley steps forward and says that there's a canary in the coal mine when it comes to credit, and that we're going to see business credit be the death of the economy, and that we need to start paying attention to this. Now, one guy that I listen to on a daily basis is Greg Mannarino. And this is one thing that Greg Mannarino has said, is that there's going to be massive problems in the credit market. But one thing that Morgan Stanley's talking about is business credit. And the problem that these companies don't have the ability to pay this money back, and that they're going to have shortfalls. And again, the idea of credit in your business is to maintain cash flow, to make it so you can make payroll and things can flow smoothly within the company. And I've had credit lines before, and they work great, and you have to use them, and sometimes it really does help. But if there's a hiccup, if you don't get paid, and you got to pay the credit line, you have a real problem. And people can fix this, but sales are not the same right now. People are not selling what they used to sell. Business is not the same as it was 2 years ago. It's completely off. And you're seeing all these people concerned about this. And Morgan Stanley is on top of this right now because they see this as a real problem. And again, theoretically, we're going to wake up one day and your credit card's not going to work. Your ATM card's not going to work. There's going to be no money in the ATM. Your online banking is going to be shut down and the banks are going to freeze. And that would be the worst day ever because nobody's prepared for that. Now, I get people that write me and say, Dan, people are spending like there's no tomorrow. They're partying. They're out enjoying themselves to finish off summer without a care in the world. Hey, maybe. But you got to prepare right now. You have to. And by the way, look at that. So there's no other time like right now. Whether you take my advice or not, get ready. Take this seriously. These banks writing these letters, other banks have stepped forward and done the same thing. And people, I had the naysayers that wrote me and said, hey, that guy got his account shut down because he did something wrong. And then I had people that work at the banks and say, more's coming. You're on top of this, and we're not allowed to talk about it. Really? Well, what do you tell your brother? What do you tell your sister if you work at a bank? Oh, I tell them to get ready, but I tell them not to tell anybody. So think about this, guys. Just get ready. Just plan. Have some extra cash in the house. Try to pay your bills off, guys, if you can. If you have the ability to get rid of the bills right now, you'll sleep 1,000 times better right now by not having them right now. So share your thoughts. There's a lot more to cover in all this. Now with the Jackson Hole Finance Symposium that Powell spoke at, there's another symposium that was down the street, basically, in Wyoming as well, and it was for the central banks. Wow. I'm going to sit here because these waves are huge out there right now, guys. So we're just going to park it here for a second. But I want to tell you everybody that was involved in this, and they had a joint statement that they wanted everybody to know about. So listen to this. This involved Bank of England, Swiss National Bank, Bank of Japan, Bank of Korea, and several European central bank policymakers all got together to let people know the same thing, and that was that there will be no more stimulus. There will be no more rate cuts. There will be nothing for free other than interest rate increases, and all of them voted that they need a minimum of a 75 basis point rate increase from the Fed in September. Which again, do you really believe that that's going to do anything? Because I don't think it's enough right now. Now, remember when I stuck my phone over that ridge? This is that little private beach down there that you can get to. And this is connected to a place called Heisler Park that, again, they've got all these different things going on up here. You can rent barbecues and just hang out here. They've got a Veterans Memorial up here. They've got a area where you can picnic. Families get together up here. It's just really cool. Really, really nice. My last video that covered crime in San Francisco drew a lot of attention, but retailers are sick of it. How about this? This last week, guys, there was a retail crime conference, okay? There was a conference to stop retail crime. How insane is that? Now, from a conference event company, I started looking into this, and they were like, hey, we did such a good job. We had 400 people here, and it was great talking about all the things that we can do. And everybody said the same thing, that we need to have people arrested and charged with crimes that steal from these retailers. So it took a conference to come up with the obvious. But again, so many people have written me. Oh, and the other thing is, I said that, hey, look at this wood chipper, and it was a log splitter. Okay, guys, I'm a city boy hanging out at the beach and misspoke. So I counted, it was 18 times people corrected me, which it's a log splitter, guys. Okay, so let's go buy a log splitter. Okay, so share your thoughts on everything. And this guy's about to drop his drone out there. That's what that little dot is right there. Another great article from the New York Post talking about real estate prices, and that we could see real estate prices drop 20 to 30%. And I like this article because it made sense. It just wasn't some blanket statement. It was why this could happen. But again, if you're on my inbox for emails, people that bought their houses 2 years ago that have interest rates at 2.78 are sitting pretty because the houses went up, basically double during this time. And with that, they're just sitting there. And the smart people, like the man that wrote me, I didn't get his name to talk about this, is retired and was saying, well, a lot of my neighbors are having trouble because they can't borrow against the houses now, and they can't sell them for what they paid for them. Kaboom, guys. So this is just going to get worse, guys. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So, share your thoughts on all this stuff, because we're seeing apartments, buildings that are having trouble selling right now. The investors that normally buy them are not purchasing them right now. I have a man here in Southern California. I'm going to get his name so I can release it and talk to you guys about him directly. But he's saying, listen, these things are not closing. They're canceling. We are seeing more houses fall out of escrow, and my favorite term, out of contract, okay? Because the people don't want to continue with the purchase, and they wake up and they say, honey, we're making the biggest mistake of our lives. I'm telling you this from somebody that lived through 2008 and thought I was smarter than everybody else and got clobbered in a lot of different ways, but lived through it. You have to look at this and look at history and look at all the recessions and look at one thing that's been pointed out to me that I went and checked, and that is before every midterm, oil prices go down. Check it. Name one that it hasn't. You name a midterm where oil prices spiked, before Election Day. That last 90 days before Election Day. Doesn't happen. They all drop to kind of give the incumbent, a boost every time. And you know what happens after Election Day? La la la, la 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 la. Prices shoot up. But this time, they're going to go through the roof. So if you want to bet on things like oil and gas derivatives and things like that, it's going to go crazy. Now, I love the metals. I love silver, especially physical silver. I'm the biggest fan of. I'm telling you guys right now, you have to do what you can do to get your hands on physical silver because it's under $20 an ounce right now before the premium. Now, I met with a man who didn't have any, but he says, Dan, I'm trying to get $10 premiums per ounce, which is lunacy, and he probably won't get it, but some people are going to pay these extra amounts just to get their hands on stuff right now. A bride down there filming. Man, this is crazy how big these waves are. They're really, we just don't see them like this over here. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. There was a man in a crosswalk that got hit by a Tesla that was in the driverless mode, and that's horrific. There's a company called LastPass, which is a password company that was just hacked. So if you guys use LastPass, they just announced that, which I think is disturbing when things like this happen, because what's safe, guys, anymore? Coming up this week is National Cinema Day. If you guys are interested in this, there's a link below where there's movie theaters around the country that will let you go to the movies for $3 per person. It's kind of cool. So I thought I'd share that with everybody because it was sent to me. So if you guys have a desire to go to a movie, there's that. And the final story is Oscar Mayer, the hot dog company. Think about this. It's going to be amazing. They're going to make hot dog flavored popsicles. So you can try that, because I won't. Even on a field trip, guys, I will not eat the hot dog flavored popsicle. So please do not forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget we have an email list. You can sign up for it below. If you want more exclusive content, there is Patreon. The email address is below, plus all the social media connections are below: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all that fun stuff, guys. So sign up for that. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.